Good afternoon. In honor of Black History Month, I would like to end things on a higher note in proper fashion. I want to call this video Crabs in a Bucket. And the reason why I call it Crabs in a Bucket is because it's two different angles. The first angle is the obvious. We as people still do not stick together as one voice. We don't support one another when somebody try to do something big or something different. Then you have those who sit inside your circle and pretend to be on your side and pretend to have your back and give you the support that you need. But once you do something that's admirable in any fashion, there'll be the ones that are not clapping. Why? Because people only respond to you and are only on your side as long as you don't go further than them. Then you are no longer the friend. Then you actually become the threat. Crabs in a bucket. The other crabs in a bucket is us. The epidemic that we're facing right now with our young teens. People say, well, they've gone run amok. They really are a generation of degeneration. Well, how so? These are people. People can only emulate what they see. And then what they see is what's constantly inside of their mind. They go outside, they see it daily. So even when they turn to things as such as like the rap music or television or videos or social media, they are still bombarded by the same things that we suffer from in our generation. We can't possibly expect someone to do something different and go against the grain and not be alienated or ostracized for trying to be original. Remember back in the day when we used to applaud originality? That is not the case because someone else is controlling our trend. See, the days when we gave away our own culture, when we used to speak in our own language where only we could understand, and we called it rap or hip hop. These were the things that we used to emphasize the appreciation of our culture. Back then, messages got back and forth the right way. But somewhere along the line, we got off track and we started applauding, killing one another, dishonoring ourselves, our community, and our women. So therefore, if we created a tradition, a heritage, a culture, if you will, of dysfunctional thinking, how can we possibly expect someone to go against the grain to learn something different? I can tell you two ways. We can, first of all, we can stop applauding and sharing some of this mess. Now, I can understand when young people do it, but you have people that are older still sharing some of these killings. Do you understand that when you starve fungus of any kind, it must die? It's just like fire. Fire feeds on oxygen. Whenever you fan in the flames, you're doing the part as well, whether you feel like it's a crime, shame, or not. See, the NFL taught us one thing. The NFL taught us one thing when the players were taking a knee against the national anthem, even though they was doing it for a justifiable reason, which was to combat or thwart the actions of police brutality and make a statement. The NFL thwarted those actions by what? Counseling out every time the national anthem was sung. Don't show it. Because what happens? If you don't show it, people will stop doing it. Because why? There is no attention. See, we don't control our own trends. We're not the ones who control the trends of the rap generation. We're not the ones who control the trends of the social media. We're not the ones who control the televisions and all these other things that these people are so influenced by. But we applaud it because we take part in it by sharing it over and over again. Remember, you can only do what you see constantly over and over again. And what you see constantly over and over again, sooner or later you will start to believe. And we do what we believe. We speak what we know. So if we know better, why don't we come together as a people and start speaking and doing better by being an example? When some of these rappers and singers and people come out with these plays and playwrights and things that actually have some substance to it, let's stop hiding behind the lines and start being some of the people who actually have some gumption and start sharing some of those things. Let's fight back on social media. Let's take some of our own culture back. Remember, it was ours first. You have a right to take your own culture back. It was yours to begin with. Wouldn't it be nice if we could show the generation behind us what it used to be like? So maybe they might feel it's free to rap about college, being a wholesome father, having a family, knowing what it's like to lose loved ones, taking care of young women and their children. maybe it might not be so not cool anymore. And maybe we won't have to listen to guns and slanging and banging and shooting each other and killing each other just to sell a song from now on. Let's start doing our part first. Stop all this fussing on other people and passing the buck later. This is our trend. This is Mark Butler. And until next time, I encourage you to always keep fighting. Take care.